Hello everyone, it is RosinQuartz here, and welcome to another speed build by yours truly. So today we are building another farmhouse type thing. I promised you guys that, well, I didn't promise you guys, I told you guys that I was going to be doing a bunch of farmhouses, and this is just one of the other ones. So basically this house is based off of a house that is actually like across several like cornfields from me. And it's not exactly the same. If anything, this one's much taller, this one's a little bit more detailed than that house, but this house is basically inspired by that one. So yeah. But this house is 3 floors. So you've got your main floor, you've got your second floor, and you've got your third floor, which is kind of like an attic almost, or at least it has that feeling of an attic. And there are 3 bedrooms. How many baths are there? I think there's 4 bathrooms. It's actually like a really, really tight kind of space. But what I really wanted to do with this house was have like a really realistic kind of house, if that makes any sense to you. Like, I really wanted to base this house off of like my like experiences of houses. So you've got these really like tight kind of houses, these houses that are kind of cluttery, they're not like modern. I don't think I've ever been to someone's house that hasn't been like super cluttery in like in a tight space. And I think that just has to do with the way that a lot of like houses I know here in Canada are built. They're kind of built a little tight, although right now there's a lot of houses being built that are very suburban American, which are like huge, like unnecessarily huge. And but a lot of older homes, they're much tighter like this. Obviously, they're not based off a lot of the brick houses that you see in Toronto or anything like that. But this is more, again, like I said, like a farmhouse. You've got the black and white kind of paneling, which you haven't seen me do yet. And right now you're just seeing me fiddle with windows, which takes me forever because I was trying to find the perfect windows that actually fit in with this house and that look nice. And so I use this sort of like black and white paneling, and for some reason, I don't know what it is with this paneling, but sometimes it doesn't recognize corners all that much, so I had to use like pillars to be able to just put into the corners so that it looks like the black and white trim is still there. Otherwise, I think this is a pretty like kind of cool looking house. It's on a very like small lot. I can't remember how big it is. It's probably 30 by 20 or something like that, or maybe not even, because the backyard is fairly small. I end up having like this like swimming lane, like there's a pool in the back, but it's like this really like thin pool. But I like putting pools in even if it takes up like most of the backyard. But yeah, right now I'm just still fiddling with the windows. I think I spent a lot of time just doing a lot of unnecessary detail with this house, even though it's probably does not come off as that detailed. But I really wanted to get that sort of that older house kind of vibe, and I really wanted to have like lots of windows. I wanted everything to be even, but also like slightly uneven at the same time, and I wanted to have all these like little tiny things. And yeah, I think this is actually like a very I wouldn't say cute, but I think it's in my mind, a very realistic house. I think everyone has their sort of different ideas of what a realistic house kind of looks like, and for me, this is kind of what it was. And yeah. And this also was a really fun house to build because I really enjoyed having a lot of floors to work with in a very tight space. I think one of my biggest problems is doing like layouts of houses, and I felt like this house kind of really gave me the ability to challenge myself, and it really gave me the opportunity to try different room kind of layouts and stuff like that, and do things in a very tighter kind of space. Just because I have a really really big habit of just starting out with these really huge houses, and then when I get inside, I'm like, oh, oh crap. I think I've said that multiple times in other videos, but yeah, I always just like go like, because I always do the outside first, right? I don't even look at the inside while I'm building the outside, because the outside is my favorite part of the house, and I always end up leaving landscaping for last, and I always end up just doing these like half-assed like landscaping, which I really shouldn't do, but it's what I do. It's my habit. But I think after doing all of these farmhouses, I've been doing a few like modern houses just for fun, and I'm hoping to be able to start building a few more modern houses alongside of these kind of like traditional type homes. Cause like I love doing like different kinds of things, and actually when I was on Twitter and I built this like modern house, and I think it was one of the first modern houses that I've ever built that I went, wow, I really really like this. You know, like sometimes when you build your houses, you're kind of like meh, like I wouldn't say this one. I actually really love this house. I'm sure it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love this house. But with modern houses, I'm a little bit pickier, and I end up doing this really like red and white kind of themed house, and I use like a lot of brick and stuff like that, and a lot of like dark walls and floorings and stuff like that, and it ended up looking amazing. And I was so mad because I was like, oh, I didn't I didn't record this, you know, because it was supposed to be just something for fun, trying something new, that I didn't want to record, because sometimes when you're recording, you're trying to go, well, at least in my own mind space, I'm thinking like, okay, I have to do things in the way that people are watching me, you know, I can't like fiddle around with things all the time, even though I always do. I always end up like choosing between like, I always end up having like 5 different couches kind of laid out, and I choose in between them all the time. But with with that particular build, I gave myself a little bit of freedom, and I end up building this like amazing like modern house within like an hour or so, and I was like, oh, darn it. I would have loved to have like recorded that for you guys, just because it was a really like, it was a house that I actually like impressed myself with. But oh well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. So it's not too bad. I'm probably like in the future, I'm probably going to build a house inspired by it, and see where that kind of goes. And I also plan on doing a let's play after my grandfather leaves, so that's probably going to be next week at some point. It depends, because I still need to actually like record it, because with him here I can't record it at all, and I haven't got my new microphone yet. I ordered it, but I don't know when it's like, it's supposed to come here within the end of the week, but I don't know. We're our like Canada Post is going actually on strike soon. Like I think it's actually just started its strike today or tomorrow or something like that. And so I hope this wasn't a horrible time to order something. But yeah. um But yeah, I'm hoping that it comes soon, and I'm hoping that I can start this Let's Play for you, because I have been prepping it so much, and I've been talking about it in my videos because I'm so excited for it, you guys. I'm so excited. I really wanted to do a Let's Play. I don't know how good I am at like storytelling and stuff like that, but you know, I thought I would give it a try, you know, because you don't know until you try it, right? And if I don't like doing Let's Plays and stuff like that, I can always just say, well, we did that for fun one time, and, you know, that's it. But I actually, like, depending on how much I like doing this particular Let's Play, I might do another one in the future, and have one alongside builds and stuff like that, because sometimes it's a bit stressful trying to come up with 3 builds a week, which, like, I don't mind, but sometimes, like, I feel like I'm not giving like my 100%, even though I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. I want to give you like, I want to give you guys like a little bit more quality over quantity, you know. And I know quantity matters in like the sense of things, but I also don't want to like bombard you guys like by doing like videos every day or like stuff like that. I think 3 videos a week is pretty reasonable, and so if I do plan to do a Let's Play, I think I'm probably going to do 2 builds a week with 1 new episode of a Let's Play, or maybe 2, depending on how I'm feeling, how quick it's going, how many episodes I want to make, because I'm excited. So I think I might do a little bit more than I want to do, but we'll see. I don't know how I want to schedule it yet, but that will be something done in the future. So let's talk about the build a little bit, because all I'm doing is talking about myself and the same things over and over. But right now we're working in the hallway entrance. So I throw in some of these kind of curtains right here, and they're not my favorite curtains, but I use them. So I have that like front entry hall area, and it's just supposed to be like this kind of cute little like area. And right now I'm working on the kitchen, and the kitchen is supposed to be like the one modernized space. Like I don't know if you go into like a lot of older homes, but I find that in a lot of older homes, the only thing that people have renovated is the kitchen, and so the kitchens are always like this hyper modern space, and then the rest of the house looks just like old and drab. And that's kind of what I wanted to get with this, is that like they only had enough money to renovate the kitchen because the kitchen is what matters. And yeah, and I wanted to have like this kind of like, it's a little bit of a small space. I don't know how workable it is actually in gameplay. I think you probably might have to move things around or get rid of things, just because I do use move objects, so I don't know. Sims are finicky about like certain things, so sometimes they can go around certain corners and go around certain things, but not always. So you might have to make the table into a 2-person table or something like that. I don't know, but this house was more built on aesthetics rather than reasonableness. But yeah, so I do think this kitchen is actually pretty cute. I do like the little like black and white kind of kitchen with the sort of copper accents kind of in there. And then I have this like kind of like drab living room that's sort of impossible to like have. I'm just thinking that this is just sort of like this really like terrible laid out space. You know, it's an old farmhouse, right? And in a lot of these old farmhouses, you know, these things didn't particularly matter, having a large living room space, because, you know, families didn't have TVs, you know, they didn't have computers or any of those things where, you know, the inside didn't necessarily matter. You know, you were just trying to live. And their children were in like sweatshops, so and they were working their butts off too, so the inside didn't really matter other than for sleeping, cooking, and eating and stuff like that. And so probably in this original space, this living room was probably more so the dining room kind of thing, you know. And wow, I just kind of like hit this like really like sad thing. But when I was kind of designing it as well, I put all those pictures around the TV, because that my grandma's house actually has like all these like, she always put all the family photos and everything around the TV, because the TV it wasn't mounted on a wall. It was one of those like big older TVs, and they had it on a stand and stuff like that, and it was placed in the corner, and so you had like all of this like sort of wall height, and so she put all the family photos around the television, and that's kind of what I wanted to do in that. It was like mildly inspired by like real facts. But yeah, like kind of what I was saying is that like these houses weren't kind of like you know, they wouldn't actually have this many bathrooms, you know, all the kids would be shoved into these rooms. I'm thinking when I kind of built this house, it was sort of this the layout was kind of based off of half modernizations, which were renovations. So there's probably these 2 bathrooms who were once someone's bedroom or something like that. And although this would be a very, very luxurious house for a really like old home, but this bathroom actually right here that you're seeing in the master bedroom right here gave me so much trouble, and I actually left the footage in there because I thought, you know what, it's kind of funny how much I had trouble trying to lay out, and I turned move objects off because I wanted to see how this kind of all worked, and end up turning it back on because like I was trying to get things to work, right? Otherwise I knew what things would be blocked and I knew which things wouldn't be, so I had to end up making the bathroom a little bit bigger than I wanted, but you know, everything fits now. But yeah, so it's kind of these like cute little like modernized bathrooms and kitchens, and then the bedrooms are very like not updated at all. And I think that's kind of how I picture like most farmhouses, you know, there's always like there's the areas that are updated and there are areas that are not at all. And although this is, like I said before, like a very, very luxurious farmhouse, I think the one that's actually like across the several fields from me is not even this big. I think it's only a 2-story house. They might have a basement that's probably more like a crawl space, but this was inspired by it. And so it's a little bit more luxurious, and I like how it's like the third floor when we get to it is it feels like an attic, and I think that's why I kind of really like it. And I do this kind of like cutesy kind of master bedrooms with like green and blue accents and stuff like that, so it's not like the coolest bedroom ever, but you know, it's the older aspects coming in, you know, like there's this sort of clash of like modern and old, and that's kind of what I wanted to get with this kind of build. And I think it's interesting. I don't know how much people like it, but just because I don't see a lot of people building like farmhouses or really kind of like houses the way that I kind of build houses, so I don't know if what I'm building is like things that people find interesting, but I hope you guys find interesting. So but yeah, so so how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Today I am going to be going to several museums today, so I'm trying to fit in my voiceovers really quick because I want to get this video up for you guys today, and because I'm a little behind on voiceovers and I'm trying to be like quiet so that I'm not bothering the family members in my household, because normally I like to do it when like no one's here so I can just be as loud as I want, but yeah. But I'm doing like fairly alright. I've been working a lot lately, so I am happy that at least I'm actually very, very ahead in builds right now so that I can keep my builds regular. The only thing I'm a little behind on is doing voiceovers for you guys, but that's alright. So right now I'm doing the 2 bedrooms upstairs. They're actually like really detailed, surprisingly. I can't believe I detailed them as much as I did, but you know, I really want to have like well, these rooms were actually built prior to the well, this house was built prior to the kids stuff pack coming out, so it doesn't have any kids stuff pack stuff in there. Not, I don't actually even own it yet, not mostly because I wasn't too interested, but also just because like last month I bought the Dine Out pack, and I also bought Get to Work, and I also bought Spa Day when they were all kind of on sale and stuff like that. So I kind of didn't really want to buy like another pack just because like I spent a fair bit, and like I have the money, like I work a lot, so it's not like I'm broke or anything, but it's also like I have other expenses and I have other things that I need to pay for, such as like driving lessons, which will cost me about $800. I think that's with taxes, and maybe even more depending on which driving school I go to, so we'll see. But yeah, so the rooms are very like creative in their own ways, and very like, I think they're very gender neutral too, which is nice. Sometimes when you get houses off the gallery, they're kind of inspired, like they kind of have them done in a way that they have preset genders that they would like you to have the rooms in, which I also do as well. Like I always do my pink room and stuff like that because I love the color pink. It's my favorite color, fun fact. But I think we're actually nearing the end here, so I am going to do my little outro stuff for you guys. So like I always say, I have my sticky note right here for you guys so that I actually remember to do this every episode. But I also have a Twitter and an Instagram and a Tumblr and a Sims Amino, and all of that is in the description below. So you can just, if you want to like chat with me or do other kinds of stuff, I'm around. So those are places where you can find me. And feel free to also, if you like this build or you like this video, or feel free to just leave a like or a comment. All that other little fun YouTube stuff. So yeah, just do that right there. Well, you don't have to. You're not obligated, but I would like it. So, but like I always say, if you guys ever have like any ideas for builds, or if you guys have any like comments or suggestions of ways that I can improve my builds or anything like that, feel free to just leave that in the comments below, because I love getting messages and I like seeing feedback, because otherwise I don't know if I'm entertaining you guys. I don't know if I'm making builds that you guys like. So yeah. And if you do ever use this build, feel free to send some screenshots for me with your Sims in this build and send them to me on Twitter. I would love to see those as well. But we're nearing the end here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this build and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this build. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today, and I hope you guys are gonna have more fantastic days coming in the future, because it's summer now for everyone, I think. So which is nice. Summer's nice for everyone. But yeah, so we're just finishing up the landscapes with gnomes, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye, everyone.